Hi, welcome to This Week in Data, your guide to the modern data culture, brought to you by Pragmatic Works. My name's Devin Knight.
And I'm Adam Jorgensen, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about Past Summit 2016. We just got back.
Awesome.
And there's so many things that happened during the week, announcements, really cool things about the event, and we know a lot of our viewers go to Past Summit, and we saw a lot of them there. We got a lot of nice conversations about you guys loving the podcast, and so we really appreciate that. But we know a lot of you didn't make it out.
Right.
And so we want to give you a hint and a preview on some of the things that happened. So, but before we do that, as usual, we have some news headlines.
Very good, very good.
So a lot of news over last week and this week.
Yeah.
A lot of it from Microsoft, some of it from Apple and Amazon and other places. But Microsoft actually released a new product this week called Teams.
Yeah.
Which we've done episodes on Slack before, right, where we talked about collaboration and some of those tools. This is a direct competitor to Slack from Microsoft that they're embedding in Office 365.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I like that it's embedded in Office 365. It probably has some connectors with things that you're already doing, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, the Office 365 integration is very cool, but I think that initial tests are saying, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Slack has over 750 third-party integrations.
Wow.
I mean, people have really sort of built their whole company or help desk, all that kind of stuff, you know, but Microsoft has, an army of developers, super smart people, right? So I'm sure they can catch up pretty quickly, and they obviously know what Slack has, and so I'm sure they're making decisions on what they want to, what their audience, that business audience, really needs out of that product.
Yeah, some of the things I saw that I really like just from testing it over like a day, like a couple hours even, not even that, is integration with Power BI. So I can actually, within a chat, be able to plug in a Power BI report for someone else to look at, and it stays interactive. You can click on things, very cool there. One of the things I saw that was missing that I bet will come at some point is the ability to kind of filter down notifications. So be able, you can do mentions and things like that, but let's say I'm just interested in hearing things having to do with SSIS or Power BI. If those words are used, I only want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about all the other garbage.
Right. And right now we can do that in Slack.
Right. You can do that in Slack.
It's a little more mature product, so they've realized that. Or when I talk to other people about you, it gets mentioned. Right. And you can read that. Yeah. That's important.
Yep.
So
how often are you talking about me to other people?
You would know if you had your alerts set up correctly. So Slack took this, we'll say, maybe not so well.
Yeah.
They wrote a full-page letter in the New York Times to Microsoft, which sort of said, I'm going to paraphrase, this is hard, we've been doing it, we know it better, we care about our customers more, and good luck. I think they could have got their point across maybe with something a little shorter, simpler, like, hey, congrats, welcome to the space.
A little bit more positive.
Hopefully we can collaborate, give the customers what they need.
Right.
It didn't necessarily...
Kind of sound like a spoiled child.
Well, by the fourth paragraph, Devin, even I was like, is this letter almost over? I was just going to skim this in between calls, when I saw the link. So, look, I think Microsoft's strategy is working, right? We're piloting Teams. It's been out for 31 hours, and we've got it installed. We're not using it with the team yet, but we're looking at it. We got to test mobile and, all the things. But I think a lot of companies are probably thinking like we are, right? Yeah. Which is, hey, I'm already paying for Office 365. Why would I not give this a shot? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So the next thing we have is you have a Surface.
I do.
I have a Surface Book, which is a Surface with a keyboard. I'm not sure necessarily why they're two different things.
And a hinge.
But it does have a hinge and a button that goes clank, and I can take the Surface out. Microsoft probably doesn't appreciate me calling that clank. But that's what it sounds like to me. So Microsoft has just released what they call the Surface Studio, which is probably more for designers, but it's basically this beautiful screen on these, they call them zero gravity hinges, so you get this drafting table experience, and it comes with they call it a puck, Surface Puck, which is a little
dial
that you just basically put on the screen. It opens up all these color, wheel menus and things like that. And so, it adds functionality like a palette for drawing and things like that. I think that, to a lot of people who use Surface on a day-to-day basis, this is a huge change. But they're not really competing. You got to remember, they're not competing with desktops and laptops.
No.
They're competing with like Wacom and other, actual tablet creative companies, right? And those companies their stuff's integrated with all the Adobe products, et cetera. And Surface Studio seems to be getting there. They've got a lot of products that are integrated. The big ones like Autodesk and others are still coming along. But I thought the puck was super innovative, right? I thought, that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. But I'm not a designer. Right. And when I read the article that we were doing research, I noticed that All the other tablets have that.
That's a normal thing.
And theirs have keys and shortcuts and all kinds of stuff built in. So it's just a different approach. But the thing that they said the Surface Puck would do that the others wouldn't, that I thought was very cool, and the guys in the video mentioned this, was you can adjust the color without ever lifting your pen.
Oh, that's cool.
So as you're coloring and shading, you can actually dial the color and change.
Cool.
So from a designer perspective, it should make you a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, Mac has always been like for the creatives, right? And we'll get to a Mac story in a second, but I mean, this is a whole other level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
It definitely impressed me, and you're right. It's probably because I haven't seen anything like it, just because we're not in the market of doing designs and things like that. But seeing that, I'm like, wow, this is really innovative. But to find out, it's a pretty normal thing for devices that are designed for that. But it's really it's cool. It's a very different way of thinking about Microsoft. You don't typically think of them being involved in those type of devices. So
yeah, I mean, they're certainly looking at changing the way people interact with all of their technology, right? And so that kind of takes us to our last news story, which is Apple. And I have Apples at home, right? I have liked my MacBook Pro for years, but they just released a new one, and especially compared to the Surface Studio thing, it's weak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weak. It's got a touch bar, and that's kind of cool, but it's got faster hardware and maybe some other improvements. But I mean, it's weak. And I mean, the general industry consensus is it's pretty weak, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it solves a few performance problems, but I mean, when you think about the difference between a touch bar and something like Surface Studio.
Yeah, touch bar so you can get to your emojis faster. Is that that's the goal with the touch bar, I guess.
I guess. I mean, supposedly apps are supposed to support it, so some context sensitive stuff. But I mean,
didn't they have to sacrifice the escape key for that too?
Oh, maybe I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think they had to sacrifice. They actually had to build the escape key into another key now to be able to do escape.
Now, knowing Mac OS, I don't ever use escape.
Okay.
Like I don't even think it does anything. So, but that being said, I mean, it's just. A lot of people have talked about Apple's strategy versus Microsoft and that kind of thing, and it certainly feels like they're struggling to innovate there. That's tough. Yeah. So, well, that's all our news for today.
Okay, that's good.
So let's jump into our main topic and talk about last week's PASS Summit 2016.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Now, one of the things that I always see people leave at the end of the week. By the way, let's start this way first.
Yeah.
Maybe some people are watching and have no idea what PASS or PASS Summit is. What is that?
Yeah, so PASS is the global organization for data professionals. Over 250,000 members worldwide, 300 global chapters, 20 plus virtual chapters. 97% of the countries have a PASS chapter or PASS presence. Wow. So, if you're not already plugged into PASS, go to sequelpass.org, check it out. You certainly can find a user group or an online community to get plugged into. I highly recommend it.
Who's the PASS president?
I'm not sure, but he's doing a great job.
Okay, good.
It's me. No, I think I am actually excited about a lot of things PASS is doing, but that's probably a good different episode.
Right.
Because we don't have 45 minutes. So, but if we talk about PASS Summit is the global event in Seattle every year, where Microsoft and all the other big partners for PASS and the data community come together with our PASS team and all of our speakers and all of our community, put on just a massive event.
Right.
This year was the biggest ever.
Wow.
Over 6,000 attendees.
Wow.
And
a lot of new people I saw too.
A lot of new people. Like over 40% new people.
Wow.
So a lot of the new increase in attendance was all new people, right? And we know data professional jobs are growing, right? And so having a community like PASS for people to go to, whether it's at the event or at a user group or just online, pretty good thing.
Yeah. So, at the end of the week, you'll always see a bunch of tweets and social media posts if this was the best PASS Summit ever.
Yep.
Was it the best PASS Summit ever?
I think it has been, certainly the last few years, right? And you see it every year, right? People are like, oh, it's the best one ever. But it's because, one, attendance continues to grow. And it's not just about attendance, but attendance gives you and I and the rest of the members and the attendees more people to talk to, more new people to meet.
A ton of new people.
Yeah. And between the work that our PASS, our actual PASS headquarters team does to put on the event, which is just astronomically amazing, and the work that our partners like Microsoft did. So Microsoft made an investment this year with PASS to be able to bring over 500 engineers and product specialists. It's unprecedented, right? I mean, we have lots of other great partners and sponsors, but none of them really can support us at that level. I mean, it's very cool. And so we had things like the SQL Clinic where a lot of these people were at the Microsoft booth. They were just jam-packed all day with people getting answers to questions from the people who actually build the products. It's pretty amazing. So I think combining that kind of experience with getting a lot of new folks in, a lot of new faces, a lot of new ideas, and some pretty great keynotes, I think it was the best summit ever.
So speaking of Microsoft, usually at these events they have some kind of announcement or big announcement that something that's being released or coming soon. What kind of things did they announce last week at Past Summit?
So they a lot. So they released some announcements sort of just ahead of the event, right? And then they talked about those a lot during the event. And so a couple things. We now have analysis services as a service in Azure.
That's cool.
Right? Still tabular, still a little small, but obviously improvements are coming.
Pretty full feature too from what I saw.
It is, yeah. I think the only real major limitations are around scale. So to get people in, get them going, and then, we'll, as everything else in Azure, we'll scale it up. Right? We also had an amazing offer around SQL Data Warehouse, which is Microsoft's scale-out data warehousing platform in the cloud. And we do a lot of work with that with customers. But and Azure's always had a free 30-day trial, right? But it kind of had some caps to it and that kind of thing. For SQL Data Warehouse, there is now a free 30-day trial that allows you to scale it up to, I think it's 75% of max performance.
Wow.
And that is a huge, huge offer from Microsoft. In addition to that, they released some new Cortana toolkits, some new bot technology, and some Power BI reporting services enhancements. So, and we're actually doing a lot with those Power BI enhancements right now. Yeah,
and so some of those Power BI enhancements had to do with on-premises capabilities, in addition to a few other things within the service. So there's a lot of great things coming.
It sounded like a lot of things that, customers have been asking for, especially around Power BI, right? It's starting to give them some options to, really get it in to environments where, maybe it wasn't getting traction before.
Yeah, and just to mention this real quick briefly about the Power BI updates. Yeah, there was a couple months ago, Tableau had came out with a short blog or article that they had of why Tableau is better, and it's starting to look like over the past couple months that Microsoft basically used that as a checklist of things to go through.
Going, nope.
Yeah, because they had a release just a couple days ago. In that release, they knocked off a couple things that they had on that list that Tableau was kind of bragging about. So it's really interesting to see where they've kind of come there as well.
Look, I think we know that team. Right? We talked to them and. We know that they're a group that wants their product to lead the market. And so I think if somebody comes out and says, we do this better, they're going to go, not for long. We're going to fix that real quick.
They innovate faster than anything you can see, I've seen. So.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, we have our audience, we have our customers, we also have all the past members and everybody who's, involved with this topic. But there's a lot of other topics that are talked about at Summit, everything from things for analysts and, report writers all the way through architects, Azure development, engineering, DevOps, right? And so, one of the things that we've done, what we've been doing now, is we try to stay ahead of all these announcements. Specifically, not only in our services and advisory capabilities, but really to support our customers through our on-demand training platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think, we're really pretty well prepared to support a lot of the things that are being announced through our on-demand platform, aren't we?
Absolutely. That's a great way to take some of these things that were announced last week and continue that learning is through our on-demand training. We're going to be releasing a slew of new courses, including Tableau that we talked about a few moments ago in a couple months. We have a new Excel course for Excel dashboards coming out. Some updates to reporting services for 2016. So we have a lot of great things coming out that I think you guys will really love.
Yeah, the thing that I'm always excited about when I talk to customers about on-demand training is, most customers kind of think, well, it's training, right? I can watch YouTube, I can do this, I can go to another company. But what they don't realize is, our team, the same ones that come out and do all that work for them and would build this system with them, they're the ones that help you and your team build that training.
Absolutely.
And you guys are making sure that you're talking to all those engineering teams and that we're ahead of the curve. So when these things are dropping, they're either already in the product or they're gonna be in the next, a few weeks, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think it's a totally different way that we've been able to do training than in years past. And I think the fact that they're iterating quickly helps us to iterate quickly. And it's really a very cool thing. And I think that was really one of the themes at Past Summit was, more diversity of sessions, more exposure to thought leaders from Microsoft, and the ability for attendees to really learn more about how to chart their course.
Yeah.
And we can certainly help. We'd love to hear in your in the comments for the video. What are you guys interested in learning? Did you go to Past Summit? What did you like? Did you come by our booth? Remind us. What color T-shirt were you wearing? Did you play the game? Did you win? Did you tussle Devin's hair like this? What did you do? There's all sorts of things that happen in the booth. I'd really like
to sound like Vegas.
Hey, I've been to that expo reception. And I've been to Vegas, and I would only go back to the expo reception. So what I'd really like to encourage you guys to do is subscribe to our blog. Check us out at pragmaticworks.com. Check out our on-demand training. You guys can sign up for a free trial right there on the website. Take a look at some of the things you're interested in learning that you learned about at Past Summit, and let us know, where you're trying to take your career and where you're trying to go. That's what we're here to help you with.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.